Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about India's toll scam. How you are paying billions for roads that were already paid for. Every Indian has lived this moment. You are driving on a highway, maybe heading to work or a family trip. And just as you begin to enjoy that smooth stretch of road, there it is. A toll plaza, red lights, barriers, queues of cars honking in frustration. You scan your FASTag, the barriers lift, and you move on. 120 rupees gone. But here's the question, why are you still paying for the road that was built years ago? This is the untold story of India's toll problem, a story of corruption, greed, and policies that have quietly turned our highways into profit machines for a handful of companies. Let's rewind to the early 1990s. India had just liberalized its economy. The government wanted modern highways, faster connectivity, booming trade, economic growth. But there was a catch. Who would pay for it? The government didn't have the funds to build thousands of kilometers of highways at once. So the solution was public private partnerships. Private companies would build and maintain roads using their own money, and in return, they would collect tolls from drivers for a limited number of years to recover their costs. Simple, right? Except it didn't stay simple for long. What started as a way to speed up development became a loophole for corporate exploitation and political manipulation. The rule was clear. Once the builder recovered its costs plus a reasonable profit, toll collection must stop. But in reality, most toll roads never stop charging. For example, several highways built under the National Highways Authority of India (NHAI) were supposed to end toll collection after 10 to 15 years. Yet, even today, many continue to collect tolls decades later. Why? Because of something called contract extensions, a legal trick used to stretch toll periods endlessly. A company claims that traffic was lower than expected or construction costs rose unexpectedly. They then negotiate a new deal with NHAI. Boom! Toll collection extended by 10 more years. Result: public money continues to flow out of citizens' pocket while the companies earn billions in pure profit. When FASTag was launched, the government called it a revolutionary digital reform. No more long queues, no more cash. But what no one told you is FASTag made toll collection more efficient, not cheaper. By automating tolls, the system guaranteed companies an even smoother revenue stream. Every time your car passes through, your account is debited instantly, even if the toll booth was supposed to be dismantled years ago. The more seamless the system became, the more invisible the exploitation grew. In fact, according to multiple reports, toll revenue in India crossed 40,000 crore annually, while the average Indian driver now pays tolls 3-4 times more frequently than a decade ago. So, who's really winning here? Now comes the darker side, the ghost toll booths. These are locations where tolls are still being collected even though the contract has been expired or no maintenance is being done on the road. In some cases, the toll operator continues collecting fees illegally, taking advantage of drivers who don't know the contract terms. In 2018, an RTA revealed that over 20 NHAI toll plazas across India were operating beyond their concession period, illegally charging motorists. This is not a small scam. We are talking about hundreds of crores in revenue pocketed from citizens who have no idea they are being robbed in a plain sight. Toll roads are meant to be pay per use. You pay only for what you use. But Indian tolls follow a flat rate system where you pay the same whether you travel 5 kilometer or 50 kilometer. Imagine you're paying full movie ticket price for watching just the trailer. That's the level of absurdity here. Moreover, the distance between toll plazas have shrunk dramatically. Earlier, tolls were 60-70 kilometers apart. Now, in many places, you hit a new toll every 20 to 30 kilometers. The government calls it development. But for average Indian, it feels like death by a thousand cuts. No scam of this scale runs without political blessing. Politicians receive huge kickbacks for awarding contracts. to specific firms. In some states, toll contracts are linked to companies owned by relatives or political allies. Even when citizens protest, toll plazas are rarely shut down. Why? Because every toll booth is a cash cow for both the corporate world and the political system. It's not just a business, it's a political ecosystem built on our daily commutes. Now, let's look at what this means for the people. For truckers, tolls have become a nightmare. They already pay road tax, vehicle tax, fuel tax, and then toll tax again. According to transport associations, tolls have accounted for nearly 20% of logistics costs, making goods more expensive. Farmers transporting crops pay tolls multiple times, cutting into already thin profit margins. Even middle class families feel the pinch. Frequent travelers spend thousands monthly on tolls. In short, toll system is silently taxing the poor and middle class while pretending to be a user-based system. The biggest loss isn't just money, it's trust. Indians are tired of paying for everything twice, once through taxes and again through tolls. Fuel taxes are supposed to maintain roads. GST was supposed to simplify taxation, yet the government continues to justify tolls as necessary for development. When citizens ask where their tax money goes, the answer is silence. When they protest toll hikes, they are met with police barricades instead of accountability. The toll system has become a symbol of how development is sold as a product rather than a public right. Now, let's talk about the future. Here's where it gets even more dangerous. Under the National Monetization Pipeline, the government plans to lease thousands of kilometers of highways to private players for decades in exchange for upfront money. This means tolls will continue for another generation and the control of public roads will move further away from citizens. The national monetization pipeline might bring short term revenue to the government, but in the long term, it's a permanent loss of public control over national assets. The toll problem isn't just about money, it's about who owns India's roads, the people or the corporation. So, what do you guys think about the toll system of India? Thanks for watching.